We're in the bathroom at 4426 Vrain. We've pulled the toilet to take a look at this sewer. It goes into the basement, hits a T. This is going to be the fun part to get through. Goes horizontally and most likely right out the side. I'm going to run a little water here because we're blurring a bit, but it goes right out the side and then makes a right hand turn and we'll head to the back alley. That is a great big old patch from the past. Not surprising, this house really doesn't have great access for cleaning even now, so because it's a shallow sewer, drain cleaners in the past would dig up the line, put a hole in it, and then clean it from outside. Because before this toilet was here, it was probably a lead sweep toilet. And because of the lead sweep, they wouldn't want to try to put a cable through it. Got a little dip there, but we'll fill out. Get a better feel for low spots when we come back through the other way. Got something blurring our lens this morning. I don't know what that is. Could just be because the camera's cold. Looks like this might be where the old kitchen line ties in. I think that's been changed. Got some new plumbing coming from the kitchen over to it. Take a better look at that when we come back too, because I thought I saw some cracking hiding in there. But there's nothing really surprising about that because there tends to be some cracks right at that connection. A lot of steam in here. This kind of movement in the air, that's part of the reason we're staying blurry, is that the line is filled with what may be hot air, steam. I think we also have some, it's been a while since it's seen a cleaning because I've seen roots but they're not very big. And we may just have a thin layer of grease across the entire bottom of the pipe. That's what's keeping us blurry. It's actually been fairly root free. It does dip here and there with short little spots that hold a little water like this, but they've all been 3/4 of an inch or less. This one's a little deeper. It got up to an inch because our lens is 1 1/4 inches tall. Generally, anything under 2 inches is not considered a major concern. We just went to 6-inch pipe, so we're out in the alley. Still pretty darn blurry. Let's see what we can do about that in the city sewer. That looked like we might have had a newer tap. Trying to use that water in the city to clean our lens up. It's actually proven pretty consistently hard to see. Feeling we're going to battle that through this whole line. But we don't want to be running a whole bunch of water while we look at the sewer. It looks like maybe the city did the tap because that city sewer out there is new plastic. And if they actually physically dig up their sewer, which it looks like they might have done, they will replace taps. blurry view that I like. So that's all plastic, so the tap's been replaced. Now I'm going to pause and put a whole lot more water through here and see if we can get clean or not. Jason, can you hear water coming down from the kitchen across? I've got two things running, but I was wondering if that one small pipe that comes around, that sounds like it's got water running in it. It comes from the back of the crawl space. Alright, so they rerouted the kitchen. Can't see that it looks like we're going to get a very clean lens. No matter what we do, there seems to be just a little bit of a blur. So we may have grease on the lens that just isn't going to come off. So our tap is new. There's just a lot of sewer gas in there too. There's our 6" to 4". Like I said, the roots have been pretty minor. This was our deepest belly. It gets to 1¼ inch, but right now it's still draining out 3 fixtures that were running. So we had a sink, the kitchen, and the tub running. So that's more like 3/4 inch, maybe 1 inch. Because even when we saw it the first time, it had a sink running. Now it wasn't running very high, but it was running. So you do have a little belly there, but there's not much sediment there and there's no buildup. Doesn't suggest it's behaving poorly. There really wasn't a lot of roots. The only roots we really kind of saw were at that connection where the kitchen was. And that's not an active connection anymore. They have rerouted the kitchen, because these old houses would have had a grease trap. And because the grease trap is no longer part of the system, it's actually down in the crawl space. It's been rerouted over to the main stack, which is the easiest way to fix that grease trap issue. The grease trap is just a holding tank that was put on the kitchens to keep grease from making it to the city sewers back at the turn of the century, because they didn't have any good way of cleaning that out of their city sewer. So by code, they just didn't let it get in there. And those systems can become problematic because no one's maintained them in decades. So yours being rerouted is a very good thing. For as old as this sewer is, it's really in pretty good shape. You do have right here, that's that old kitchen line tying in. You do have a little offset, and it does look like it's cracked here on the right hand side. What? I just cannot get rid of that blur, but if you look right there, that bright shiny thing on the right, that's a little bit of edge showing. Now, it's actually really common to see some stress right here, because when the ground moves or settles, you've got multi-directional force because of that pipe that goes off to the right to the kitchen, and it will stress it. It looks stable, doesn't look like it's hurting anything. Nothing's trapped here. I'd say as a short-term issue, not a big deal. Long-term, it may see movement. So we're going to come on back through here. Then we might still go ahead and see where that spot is in case it became an issue down the road, so you know where it's at, how deep it is. Because it's not really... shouldn't be real deep, because this is not a real deep sewer. But it could very well be around that shed based on this, because this is our cast iron. So that's our sewer. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video there, and I'm going to push back out to that spot and see where it is.